Today, I'm coming at you with a quick tip for a small, tiny habit you can do over time to slowly change your spending habits, ease into a tighter budget, and end up freeing up quite a bit of money in the long run. Let's do this. The other day, Jesse, CEO here at YNAB, was talking about saving for retirement and how, quite frankly, if you've never done it before, it's just intimidating and hard. If you're already living on a tight budget and don't have much wiggle room financially, the thought of suddenly tucking away multiple percents of your income to a future you that won't get to see it for years is kind of scary, especially when the internet is telling you you should be putting away 15 or 20% of your income a year. Okay, what? If you started contributing all that to your retirement account right off the bat, it's as if you woke up to the news that you just got a 20% pay cut. That kind of cut to your monthly spending money is not something you can just hop into without throwing off your entire financial world. That's when Jesse reminded us of the classic 1% rule. Every quarter or 6 months or year, bump up your retirement contribution by just 1%. If you've never contributed before, that means going from contributing nothing to contributing just 1% of your annual income over the course of a year. Not bad, not too terrifying, totally doable. Making changes like these in small increments makes the change feel much more minute, harder to notice, and easier on the budget and the mind. You can adjust slowly as time goes on, eventually getting up to your goal without sending your bank account into shock. So, that being said, hear me out. If this 1% rule works for easing yourself into saving more for retirement, could we flip it on its head and use it to ease ourselves into spending less in our budget? Fellow budgeters, meet the shave and save. This budget trimming technique has been used and loved by savvy budgeters for years, and it's easy as pie. In fact, you could easily go buy a pie completely guilt-free with all the extra money you'll find in your budget after instilling this habit for just a week or two. A whole pie. And a can of whipped cream. Probably. I don't actually know your situation. The rule goes exactly as it sounds. You slowly shave tiny bits off of your budget in order to slowly build up and save some extra money over time. Let's look at 2 ways to do this. First, you can hop right on in with your whole budget allowance. If you're used to budgeting $1,200 every 2 weeks, this time send 1% or $12 of it straight to savings right off the bat, and budget out for the rest of the month with the remaining $1,188. Contribute a couple less dollars here, $5 less there, and look, I still easily filled out all of my needs for the next 2 weeks without that $12. Now, as I go about my next 2 weeks, as long as I'm always making financial decisions based on my budget, I will likely ride the waves of life relatively similar to before. Stick with sending $12 to savings every paycheck and living on $1,188 for the next few pay cycles. And when you're ready for another challenge, try sending $24 or 2% straight to savings and budgeting with your remaining $1,176. Keep in mind, you can make the increments as big or as little as you want, and you can also shave and save at whatever pace you want. So if you wanted, you could start with sending $5 straight to savings and then sending $5 more to savings with each following paycheck. $5 the first paycheck, $10 the next paycheck, $15 the next paycheck. You get the picture. Or every 3 months, you could send $50 more to savings and budget out the remainder. Move at whatever pace and increments you want. Just remember, the trick is in giving both yourself and your budget time to adjust before sending another small shock to its system. The next way to implement this technique is to shrink down the shave and save to a more micro scale and apply it to just a few categories. Maybe you have a tendency to spend big in a few categories like dining out or groceries, and you'd like to cut back on those, but always have a hard time actually making that happen. If you have goals set for these categories, simply lower each goal by $2 or $5, maybe even $10 depending on what the category is, and let yourself slowly adjust to this shrinking budget over time. I'm gonna lower my dining out category by just $5 right now. I would recommend shaving much smaller increments off more frequently, and I mean much smaller, than shaving off bigger chunks more periodically. The idea is essentially tricking your brain into thinking nothing has changed, and the more drastic your shavings are, the more easily your brain will notice. I would also recommend, if you're going the category route, that you truly just pick and adjust 1 or 2 categories to start with. If you go through and shave $10 off 15 different categories, trust me, you will feel it and you will crash and burn. Ask me how I know this. So this week, try giving your budget a little shave, just a little shave. See how it feels over the next week or 2 or month, and if the change is painless, give another category in your budget a little shave. Where could you send all these extra dollars that you're shaving off of your budget? To your savings? To help you get a month ahead? Are you gonna slowly put it aside for an item on your wish list that you've been dying to purchase? Give those extra shaved dollars purpose right off the bat so that you're not feeding them right back into the spending side of your budget. So, I'm curious, what will you shave this month? Your beauty category? Your fun money? Your rent? Don't do that. Oh my gosh, please don't do that. Delete, delete, delete. As always, friends, keep budgeting, keep crushing, and keep coming back. See you in the next video. This is the one about the shave and save. The one where they shaved and then they saved. Okay, feel good with this. Just don't move until it's time. And then she immediately moved. Okay.